Welcome to Tortilla Talk Tuesday, the day where I'm not gonna edit very much. I'm just gonna answer your questions. Very chill, unedited vlog, but today's an interesting one. As you can see, I'm in a room that you've probably never even seen before. My brother and sister-in-law were staying in this room when they were here. They got mandatory evacuated from the fires a few weeks ago, and they were living here for a couple weeks, but they left recently, and I was really, really sad because I loved having my whole family here. I literally cried the whole night that they left because I really had so much fun like hanging out with my niece and nephews every night. I was super bummed. However, it was kind of a little bit of a blessing in disguise because I now have to live in the room that they were living in. If you've been watching my vlogs every day, you might remember that I said that our water stopped working in my bathroom and we had to get it fixed, but it was complicated trying to find someone who could fix it and for a price that was cheaper than like $12,000. So we had to shop around a little bit and finally we found someone who was able to come and fix it. It took them multiple days to fix it and they finally did, question mark. So last night I gave my kids a bath for the first time in that bath for a couple weeks. Obviously we're still taking baths every night in here, but it was kind of a nuisance to come all the way over to this side of the house to do the bath and to go all the way back over there to go bedtime, whatever, who cares. The point is that last night they said, it's all fixed, you're good to go. I gave my kids a bath. And when I drained the bath, suddenly my shower and my toilet filled with water as I was draining the bath, and then the bath filled with water, and this water smelled like poison. Literal poisonous toxic fumes. It smelled so bad. The only smell I could relate it to was when my grandma used to perm her hair and the whole house would stink like that perm solution. That is what it smelled like to me. Nothing would drain, so the toilet wasn't usable, the shower wasn't usable, the bath wasn't usable, nothing was usable, and it was, 9:30 at night at this point when I finally realized what was going on. All the kids were asleep, so first I moved the kids down to this area of the house because I didn't want them smelling those smells because it smelled really toxic. So I had to move all my stuff, all the kids' stuff, everything down here, and then we called the plumbers and they were like, no, you're fine. We'll be there in the morning, but it's fine. And I said, okay, I believe you. You're the plumber. I am not. But then they called this morning and said, we're not gonna come. That's not our fault. Excuse me? Let me get this straight. Toilet, the bath, the shower, and the sinks are all working perfectly fine in my bathroom. And then suddenly one day the hot water stops working. You come, rip apart everything, rip apart all the pipes and the ceiling. There's a hole in my ceiling. There's holes everywhere. There's just stuff everywhere. Like they did not clean up after themselves. Oh, and not only that, when we started smelling the stinky stinks, we went down to where the water heater was and there was a huge leak and there was water dripping everywhere all over my garage and a huge puddle in my garage. So anyway, they call and they say, we're not actually coming. That's not our fault. That's your fault. And we're like, what? We didn't do anything. So now I have paid thousands of dollars for them to fix the hot water, when in reality they've just broken everything over there and they're refusing to come look at it or fix it. Eric's about to have a conniption. I am having a heart attack, but there are bigger problems in the world. I love you. Anyway, Eric walked in the room, so I turned off the camera so we could chat about what's going on. But yeah, obviously there are much bigger problems. My bangs are crazy. I just tried to do them really quickly and didn't really look what I was doing and it didn't work well. Anyway, it's been a journey. Do you hear that? That's fun sounds that I'm hearing. As fun as it is to sit and listen to this sound, I'm gonna go and try to get some work done. And I'll see you guys a little bit later and answer some of your questions. Okay. Just finished podcasting with Eric. It was super fun. Eric and I are gonna go on a date tonight, which is very needed. So I'm excited about that. And we're gonna go do that. So I need to make myself look like a person. Okay, bye. Okay, I did a little Christmas craft with the kids and now I need to get ready to go on a date with Eric. And I thought I'd answer some Tortilla Talk questions while I do that. Ash Rose said, Tortilla Talk question, would you ever have the psychic back? Her predictions have been pretty accurate. She even predicted your career change. Have you kept in contact with her? Those videos are so interesting to rewatch. P.S. The agates on the Oregon coast are good too, especially after winter storms when the tide is low. I have heard this about Oregon and I've always wanted to go up there and look for agates and rocks and everything else because it seems amazing. Well, the lighting in this bathroom is terrible. I thought it was good and it's definitely not. Anyway, what was the question? Oh, the psychic. Yes, I've definitely thought about having the psychic back and yes, I'm putting eyeshadow on with my finger even though I have an eyeshadow brush in my hand. Anyway, what was the question? Oh my God. Oh, the psychic. Okay. Yeah, I've thought about having her back. She's great. She's lovely. She's so sweet and she is always right. And I know that you guys have been wanting wanting me to rewatch the video of her doing a psychic reading of the twins. I need to so bad. I just never do it. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I need to do that. I know I need to do that. I would love to have her back. I feel like everything she's predicted has come true. I don't remember everything she said about the twins. You know what's crazy though? I feel like I remember when she did the psychic reading of the twins. I was pregnant with the twins and I really wanted her to tell me about the twins and what they would be like when they were older and what their personalities were going to be like. And I remember she just kind of kept talking about my career and how my career was going to change. And like I said, I haven't watched that video in a really long time. I really need to go back and watch it. But I remember during the psychic reading thinking like, why does she keep talking about me and my career and how there's going to be this big shift and money problems and blah, 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 when I want her to talk to me about my kids. Like I want her to talk to me about the twins. Like, I don't know why she keeps talking about this. And that's kind of crazy to think about now because perhaps she just like really saw a big career shift and something crazy happening in my life and in my career. And that was overshadowing whatever she was seeing about the twins. I don't know, but I'm just not realizing that like I remember her doing the reading and I remember thinking like, why does she keep talking about me and my career? And that's really weird to think about now, but I need to go back and rewatch that. And I hate the color I just put on my eyes. Too late now, whatever. Okay, moving on. Ray Skywalker 4 said, Tortilla Talk question, what was your favorite moment from the Wicked movie and why? There are so many moments. How am I supposed to pick? Are you serious? I literally don't think that I could pick just one moment. The moments that stood out to me, I mean, the first time I saw Ariana on the screen, I cried. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited and so proud. I loved all the little Easter eggs and I don't want to say any of them because I don't want to give away spoilers for people who don't know the movie or the show. But I did notice most of the Easter eggs and that was very exciting. Like right away, first thing that popped up on the screen was, it said Wicked. And I turned to Christina, my best friend who's sitting next to me, and we both go like, oh my God, that's the same font they did Wizard of Oz. Like we both recognized the font from the Wizard of Oz. And we thought that was really cool that they put the Wicked font in the same font as Wizard of Oz. So there's like little things like that that were exciting, but I thought Popular was incredible and Ariana was so funny in Popular. One of my favorite moments I just remembered today, like I'd forgotten about it, but I talked about it on the podcast with Eric. In The Wizard and I, there's this really cool moment where Elphaba sings, it'd be alright by you if I degreenify you. And of course that's not important to me. Alright, why not? I'll reply, oh what a pair we'll be, the wizard and I. Okay, anyway, sorry, did not mean to continue to sing there. During that part when she says degreenify you, the lighting and the way that they shot it, it was so clever, it was so cool. The lighting effect they used made like this like wind chime or something, I don't know, reflect colors against her green skin that made her skin look, if it wasn't green, and it's just for like a split second. I thought it was so cool. Dancing Through Life I thought was amazing. I am embarrassed to admit, and you guys are all gonna like shun me forever, but that guy, is his name Jonathan Bailey? I don't really know. I don't know who that is. I'd never seen him before in my life. I know that he was on Bridgerton and everyone loves that show, so I know that's why people are gonna be mad if I don't know who he is, but I didn't know who he was. But I thought that he was incredible. I was blown away how good he's amazing. He's so good. He's so charming. He's literally perfect for that part. Wait, you asked me what my favorite part of Wicked is, and I think I'm just explaining the plot of Wicked. So maybe I should stop. I love the movie. I don't have a favorite part. Oh my God, there's glitter on my freaking face from making ornaments. I need to do my hair. I need to put on different clothes. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go get dressed. Oh my God, it was definitely too dark in that other bathroom, and the way I did my makeup is crazy. Hold on, you gotta see this. The eyeshadow, you can't even tell in the viewfinder, but like it's literally bright red. What the heck? I thought it was like a brown gold. Oh, dang it. Whatever. I'm gonna do my hair and answer a couple more questions before our little date skis. Cool Carload said, I've asked this multiple times before, and how do you identify types of rocks just by looking at them? Like how do you know if a rock is a quartz or an agate or another type? Love you. Most of the time I don't know the difference. Like I'm not a rock expert by any means, and I don't know what most rocks are. I am only familiar with the rocks that are near me, where I live. The first thing you can tell if it's like a jasper or a quartz or an agate or something like that is if it looks kind of waxy. I know it sounds weird, but like a regular rock is gonna look a little grainy and rough, but agate, jasper, and quartz and other things in that like family are gonna have like a waxy kind of look on them. Another thing is if they glow, like if they're translucent and you can kind of see through them if you put a light behind them, that usually means that they're quartz and not jasper, because jasper is not translucent. You cannot see through jasper. jasper. Agates usually have banding in them. Like usually you'll see like these little stripes, these little lines, and they're usually translucent. You can see through them and they have that waxy look to them. Jasper in my area is typically a dark red or maroon or brown, sometimes green, sometimes yellow or orange. And another thing we get a lot here is brecciated or brecciated, I don't really know how to say it, jasper, which is like quartz and jasper mixed together. So you'll see like white veins of quartz running through it, and then whatever color the jasper is. So that's like the only ones that I kind of know, and that's how I know the difference. But I remember when I was learning about rocks in the beginning of my rock loving journey, I couldn't tell anything apart and I was really frustrated by it. It's just with lots of time with rocks and looking at other rocks and looking at people talking about rocks, after a long enough time doing that, you just kind of start to know. And I know it's a really annoying answer, and I would have hated hearing someone say that to me a year ago, but kind of the truth. And I honestly don't know what most of the rocks are, but I can tell if I can tumble them or not based on if they have that waxy texture on the outside. That was a long answer. I was probably kind of boring. Emily said, on the topic of associating your family members with sea animals, what Taco Bell items would you assign your family? This is a fabulous question. So last week I said, someone asked me to associate each family member with a sea creature. Ooh, this is a very tricky one. And also not relatable because I feel like a lot of people out watching don't eat Taco Bell or don't even have Taco Bell where they live. Wesley is a simple bean and cheese burrito. Everyone loves it. It's delicious, comfortable, it's familiar, it's reliable. Flynn would be something like Nachos Bel Grande or something, like some item that has a lot of different elements to it. I don't know though, that's hard. I feel like I'd be cinnamon twists maybe, but then sometimes I would also be like the nachos and like the cheese sauce with the nachos, because what even is that sauce? And sometimes I think that about myself, like what even am I? Like who even am I? Like am I even a person? Because that cheese sauce definitely doesn't even have cheese in it. Eric is a gordita. Don't ask me why, just that makes sense. For Maisie, it like depends on the day. Oh, maybe like Crunchwrap Supreme, but like some bites have something spicy in it and some bites have like just a pleasant sweet amount in it. Like you can't see what's on the inside of a Crunchwrap Supreme. So I feel like she'd be that, because you don't know what you're gonna get with Maisie until it happens, and then it's like aggressive. Okay, I'm gonna finish getting ready and then I'm gonna go on a date with Eric, and then I'll finish talking to you guys later. Okay, Eric and I we're on a walk on the beach on a little date, and I was trying to tell him about this girl. She's into science and all this stuff, and she does experiments, and he's like laughing at me saying I'm saying the word wrong. Experiment. It's like the pink conversation all over again. Experiment. Experiment and pink. So I guess I say another word really wrong. Experiment.
Spell it.
Experiment?
Yes.
It's not experiment.
Well, I was overpronouncing it for you because you say, what do you say?
Experiment.
Experiment. Is that what you think it is?
Well, you think it's experiment.
Experiment.
Experiment. So
Wow.
I'm sure I say it wrong, but I also don't think it's experiment. Is it experiment?
Say experimenting.
Experimenting.
Experimenting?
Yes. Whatever. All right, I'm home from my date with Eric. We had a lovely time. I'm just gonna answer him one more question, maybe two, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Christina said, Tortilla Talk question, if you only had one baby after Flynn, would you think about having a third child? I don't know. Our plan was always to have 2 kids. And so the third was a very exciting surprise, but it certainly was unexpected. And it's not how we ever envisioned our family to look. We always thought we'd just have 2 kids, but I don't know. Now I can't imagine my life without all 3, obviously. So the idea of only having 2 kids, I've never experienced that. I have never, ever experienced only having 2 kids. So I don't know what that would be like. I don't know if I would yearn for another or if I'd be happy with just the 2, but what I do know is I'm glad that I have 3, and I'm glad that I have the 3 that I have, and we're done having kids. Starry Eyes said, having always been landlocked in Colorado, I know nothing of the ocean. How do you know when the high tide and low tides are? Is it in an app? I'm sure there is an app, but I literally just Google it. I will just Google the city that I'm in, and then I just type in high tide, low tide chart or calendar. Honestly, they're kind of hard to read. I feel like sometimes I'm confused looking at them, but I'm sure there's an app that would make my life a lot easier, but I don't use it. If there is one, I just Google it. There's 2 low tides and 2 high tides per day. So it's usually like a kind of low tide, a kind of high tide, a very low tide, a very high tide. FJ29DV said, Tortilla Talk, have you ever looked for artifacts? Arrowheads can be washed down from the creeks. I've never found an arrowhead. I would love to find an arrowhead. I have found fossils, I think. I'm not even really sure, but yeah, let me see what I have on hand. So I found stuff like this. Like, I don't know what this is. I don't even know that I would call it a fossil, but there's like random fossil looking chunks within this rock. Like in here, you can see in this little divot, there's like a shell fossil, and over here too, maybe, I don't know. And then this and this, I'm not quite sure what those are, but looks fossily to me. I find a lot of coral fossils. So this is the fossil of a coral or something like that. There's more coral fossil. Sometimes I find bones. I don't know what this is. I think I looked it up once and it said like the hoof of something, like the toe or something of some sort of animal. Bones usually kind of gross me out. So if I find bones, I usually just like, oh, a bone, and keep moving on. This is one of the first things I ever found when I was rock hunting, and I don't know what it is, but it's like a rock, but like a rock of fossils. I don't know what these little bone things are, but very strange. There's another rock that's got like a bunch of seashell fossils in it. Some of these things are actual seashells, and then some things are fossils. It's weird. Like, I don't know what that is. That looks fossily to me. See, like that looks like an actual seashell, so I don't know. And like here too. I find a lot of seashell fossils or clusters of seashells and old rocks and stuff, but I've never found any artifacts. That would be pretty cool. I would feel like weird, I think, about taking an artifact. Like that would be disrespectful somehow. It's kind of the same way I feel about bones. Like I don't want to take bones because I feel like it's like disrespectful to touch bones for some reason. I don't know that that's true or not. That's just like how I feel personally about that kind of thing. But anyway, that's all the questions I'm going to answer today. I'm going to now edit and hang out with Eric and make some Christmas ornaments. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.